Chosen one, you weren't called to be ordinary. You weren't created to merely survive the noise of the world. Something in your spirit has been stirring lately. A deep knowing, a quiet whisper, a burning that will not go away. That's not coincidence. That's awakening. That's the Spirit of Christ beginning to move inside you. And when that spirit begins to awaken, your soul can no longer be satisfied with shallow things. You begin to crave depth. You begin to sense that there is more, not more from the world, but more from within. Something sacred, something eternal, something powerful. This is not just a spiritual phase, it's a divine reminder. You were born with the breath of God in you, formed in light and marked by divine authority. You were not made for confusion. You were made for clarity. You were not made to be a slave to fear. You were made to rise in courage. The same Spirit that raised the Christ is now rising in you. That's why the old version of you has felt heavy. That's why the things that once entertained you now leave you empty. It's not that you've changed, it's that you're awakening. The old shell is breaking. The seed is opening. The fire is igniting. Before we go deeper into this message, chosen one, I want you to pause. Breathe. Let your spirit hear what your mind may not yet understand. This video was meant to find you. This moment was chosen. If you feel this word tugging at your soul, watch this video all the way through. Then I invite you to type your warmest wishes in the comments. Speak what you want into the atmosphere. If this message resonates with you, type 99 to claim your awakening and 777 to align with divine energy. And subscribe to join this sacred journey, one where your inner Christ identity rises to the surface with power and peace. Now let's go deeper, because this rising is not soft, it's not gentle, it comes with resistance, it comes with fire. You may feel pressure right now in every part of your life. Things are shifting. People are falling away. Time feels slower, but your soul feels louder. That's because transformation has begun. The Spirit of Christ does not awaken in still waters. It rises through storms. It rises through spiritual contractions. The pain, the confusion, the deep isolation you feel, it's not the end. It's labor. You are birthing a new you. You are stepping into a dimension that has always been written in your DNA, but is only now being activated. You may have thought that you were broken. You may have assumed that you were lost. But the truth is, you were being stripped of illusions. Your ego was being peeled back. Your distractions were being removed. And underneath all the noise, your divine identity was waiting. The Spirit of Christ is not something you borrow. It is something you carry. It lives in you. It breathes through you. And when it awakens, you begin to see differently. You no longer accept limitation. You no longer beg for scraps of love. You remember who you are, not from a place of pride, but from divine memory. You were never abandoned. You were being trained. The trials you went through weren't signs of rejection. They were spiritual boot camps. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every lonely night, all of it was part of the great stripping. Because the Spirit of Christ does not rise in clutter. It rises in stillness. It rises in clarity. It rises when the noise has been silenced and the soul is ready to hear the true call. And that is what's happening now. You are no longer distracted by the crowd. You are no longer lost in false identities. You are no longer seeking outward approval. Because inwardly, you've been touched. And that touch has changed everything. Don't fight this change. Don't run from it. Let the old fall. Let the masks slip. Let the patterns die. This is not destruction. This is divine resurrection. The Spirit of Christ does not come to keep things the same. It comes to reveal truth. It comes to stir power. It comes to resurrect what was dormant and reclaim what was stolen. And when it rises in you, everything around you must shift. Your energy changes. Your discernment sharpens. Your steps become intentional. You're no longer guessing. You're being guided. You no longer strive. You surrender. And in that surrender, you rise. So if your life feels strange right now, if the things you once loved feel hollow, if your circle feels smaller, if your words feel deeper, rejoice. You are not falling apart. You are falling into place. The Spirit of Christ is awakening in you. That awakening won't look like perfection. It will look like honesty. It will look like stillness. It will look like power, not in noise, but in presence. You are becoming the version of yourself that heaven saw all along. And this awakening is not temporary. It is eternal. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need validation to glow. You don't need to explain your change. The ones meant to walk with you will feel it. The ones not meant to come with you will fade. Let it happen. The Christ in you will attract exactly what belongs to your assignment. You no longer have to chase. You simply have to align. The more you align, the more the old world around you crumbles. Not to harm you, but to reveal the new one rising within you. This is the beginning, and it is sacred. You didn't stumble into this season by chance. You were led here. Even when you didn't recognize the signs, even when you thought you were lost, the Spirit of Christ was guiding your steps, pulling you out of what was familiar so you could awaken to what was divine. That tension you've been feeling, the inner stretch, the sudden sensitivity to your surroundings, it's the signal. The old you can't survive this new frequency. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. The divine is not interested in keeping you comfortable. It's calling you to rise. And rising, chosen one, is not about the spotlight. It's about alignment. It's about coming into full agreement with who you truly are. When the Spirit of Christ begins to move in you, everything false begins to crack. The masks you wore to protect yourself, the identities you adopted to feel safe, the personas you used to belong, they start to fall off. You feel naked, vulnerable, exposed, but also alive. Your soul recognizes truth before your mind can explain it. That is the nature of awakening. It disrupts, it peels, it purifies. You're not going crazy, you're waking up. You're waking up to the real battle, to the real authority within you, to the real reason you've always felt different. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to carry presence. You were meant to shift atmospheres. You were meant to break strongholds just by walking into a room. That's why the enemy worked overtime to confuse you, shame you, break your confidence. Because if you ever realized who you really are, everything would change. And now, you're realizing it. The Spirit of Christ is not a soft echo. It's a roar in the soul, a quiet thunder that doesn't ask permission. It claims territory. It reclaims your memory, your vision, your purpose. And as it awakens in you, old wounds come to the surface. Not to hurt you, but to heal you. Everything that was hidden in the shadows of your spirit is being brought into the light. Not to shame you, but to free you. Because you can't carry divine power while still nursing silent chains. And the Spirit of Christ refuses to let you rise in fragments. So let it rise even if it hurts. Let it rise even if it means crying out what you've held in for years. Let it rise even if it cost you what you thought you needed. The new you is not built on performance, it's rooted in presence. You are being reintroduced to the holy version of you, the version that is not afraid to speak with power, the version that doesn't compromise light to keep others comfortable, the version that doesn't bow to fear, guilt, or rejection. That version is here, and it's not coming with force, it's rising with fire. There will be days when you feel like the world no longer understands you. That's because you are no longer operating on the world's vibration. You are being recalibrated to heaven's sound. The things of this world will feel empty because you've tasted something deeper. The spirit within you is hungry for more than survival. It's hungry for divine mission. It's hungry for purity, power, truth, and presence. That hunger is not weakness, it's holy. Protect it, feed it, follow it, because it is the compass of your rebirth. Chosen one, don't be surprised if your life feels like a construction zone right now. That's what happens when you shift from borrowed identity to divine embodiment. You are not being undone, you are being reformed. You are being stripped of everything you no longer need to carry. The need to explain yourself, the addiction to performance, the fear of being too much, the pressure to be perfect. Let it all go. The Spirit of Christ inside you is not asking you to be flawless, only faithful. You are being made whole. Not the version of wholeness the world sells, but true spiritual wholeness. The kind that makes you dangerous to darkness. The kind that lets you stand in chaos and still radiate peace. The kind that carries joy without condition. That is what's rising in you. That is why your heart has felt raw, why your dreams feel louder, why your restlessness won't go away. You're not broken, you're birthing. And as the spirit rises, your eyes begin to open. You see beyond words, you discern motives, you feel energy, you recognize divine timing. You stop chasing what is not meant for you. You stop begging to be chosen because you know you already are. You walk differently, you speak with weight, you move with intention, and you no longer wait for the world's permission. You carry heaven's permission, sealed in your soul, confirmed by fire, activated by surrender. This journey will not be easy. There will be resistance. There will be moments where old fears scream louder than new faith. But remember this, every time you choose truth over comfort, surrender over control, obedience over understanding, the spirit rises, it takes more space, it reshapes more territory. It fills more of your being, until one day you are no longer trying to become anything. You simply are, the image of Christ awakened, living, moving, breathing through you. You are not who you used to be, and though the mirror may reflect the same face, your spirit knows. Something ancient has been unlocked. Something holy is awake. The Spirit of Christ inside you isn't waiting to be discovered. It's demanding to be expressed, and that expression isn't loud or forced. It's authentic. It flows in your walk, your silence, your presence. You've stepped into a season where the real you must come forward. Not the version shaped by trauma, fear, or people's expectations, but the version that was written before time. The chosen one, the sent one, the vessel of light. This awakening is not emotional hype, it's spiritual authority returning home. You're not reacting to life anymore, you're responding from spirit. You're not following noise, you're following instruction, and it feels foreign, doesn't it? The way you've begun pulling back from what once felt familiar, the way your soul tugs at you when you're about to settle for less. That's not confusion, that's alignment. The Spirit of Christ will not allow you to go back to a life that no longer matches who you're becoming. You were marked for more. You were marked to rise. But don't romanticize this rise. It's not always graceful. It's gritty. It costs you comfort. It challenges your pride. It exposes your shadows. It humbles your flesh. When Christ begins to rise in you, the false self begins to tremble. The ego resists. The old identity panics. You'll be tempted to return to what feels easy, to what used to numb you, to what made you feel in control. But the Spirit won't let you settle, not anymore. There's too much on the line now. The world is not waiting for a perfect version of you. It's waiting for a real one, and the real you is being formed in the fire. Fire purifies, and maybe that's what this season feels like. Fire. Old mindsets are burning off. Old habits are losing their grip. Relationships built on fear are fading. Plans you made out of ego are crumbling, and all of it feels like loss. Until you realize it's making space. Space for something divine, space for something deeper, space for something eternal. What looks like endings are actually divine edits. God is not subtracting your life. He's sculpting it, refining it, preparing it to carry weight. Chosen one, the Spirit of Christ doesn't rise to make you look good. It rises to make you true. This truth will cost you lies you didn't know you were still living. Lies like, I'm not worthy, I'm too broken, I missed my chance. The awakening spirit violently confronts these inner scripts and replaces them with reality. You are worthy because you were created by love. You are not too broken. You are being rebuilt from the inside out. You have not missed your chance. You are right on time. You've probably felt disconnected lately, detached from your old routines, unable to engage with people the same way, uninterested in things you once chased. That's not detachment, that's elevation. When the spirit rises, it lifts you from shallow waters. You begin to breathe a different air. You crave peace over performance. You seek silence over validation. You prefer truth over attention. It's not that you've changed for the worse. You've evolved for the divine. This rise is also a return to your real self, the version of you that knew joy before it was stolen, the version of you that believed before the world taught you fear, the version of you that could feel God without doubting it. That part of you was never lost. It was hidden, buried beneath years of survival. But the Spirit of Christ is a key, and it's unlocking you from within. Bit by bit, breath by breath. You may not feel powerful right now. You may feel raw, emotional, fragile, but don't mistake vulnerability for weakness. Vulnerability is the birthplace of power. It is the space where spirit flows freely. The less you pretend, the more room the divine has to work. So keep opening, keep yielding, keep peeling back the layers. You're not dying, you're shedding, and every layer that falls is making room for truth. You were never meant to rise by the world's standards. You were meant to rise by divine design. And divine design doesn't look flashy, it looks faithful. It's hidden before it's revealed. It's humble before it's exalted. It's quiet before it roars. You are in that quiet now, and it is holy. You don't need to announce your rise. The fruit will speak, the spirit will radiate, the light will find its way. And when it does, you won't have to force your way into rooms. You won't have to convince anyone of your worth. The Spirit will speak for you. The anointing will open the doors. The presence will command the atmosphere. And you'll simply walk in truth. And that, chosen one, will be enough. There comes a time in every chosen one's life where you stop asking for permission and start moving in power. That moment is now. You've outgrown the old labels. You've shed the borrowed masks. You're no longer the one waiting for someone to validate your light, because your light has already been validated by heaven. And when the Spirit of Christ awakens in you, you walk differently. You speak differently. You see differently, not because you're better than others, but because you finally remember who you are. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. You're not stepping into pride, you're stepping into promise. You've been called, equipped, tested, stretched. You've been crushed in silence and refined in hidden places. The pain you carried wasn't empty, it was purposeful. It broke your ego, but built your spirit. And now the Spirit of Christ is filling the places that used to be filled with fear, insecurity, and self-doubt. Where weakness once ruled, wisdom now reigns. Where fear whispered, now fire speaks. This fire doesn't burn you, it reveals you, it consumes the lies, it purifies the call, it illuminates the path. That's why you felt pressure lately. That's why your heart has been restless. Heaven is rearranging your inner landscape, not to punish you, to prepare you. And the preparation feels like everything is shifting at once. Because it is. Your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, your relationships, everything is being calibrated for what's coming. The Spirit of Christ is awakening in you, and your life must reflect that truth. And yes, it's lonely. It's confusing. The middle of transformation always feels unstable. You're not who you used to be, but you're not fully who you're becoming either. That space, the in-between, is sacred. It's not a mistake. It's where spirit does the deepest work. It's where clarity forms and character is shaped. The wilderness you feel is not abandonment. It's where identity is carved out. You are being rebuilt from the inside, and when the foundation is spirit, nothing can shake it. This is why you can't fake it anymore. The awakened spirit won't let you. You can't pretend to be okay when you're breaking inside. You can't smile through situations that demand truth. You can't stay in places that dishonor your calling. The spirit is too loud now. It won't let you settle. It won't let you shrink. It won't let you go back. There's too much inside you. Too much has been activated. You've come too far in silence to turn around in fear. This is the time to walk forward, not in performance, but in power. That power doesn't always feel like fire. Sometimes it feels like peace. The kind of peace that doesn't make sense. The kind of peace that stands while everything else shakes. The kind of peace that says, I don't know how, but I trust anyway. That's the Spirit of Christ alive in you. It's not loud, it's rooted. It's not emotional reaction, it's spiritual certainty. That's what sets you apart now. You're not driven by the external, you're anchored in the eternal. You don't need applause, you don't need to be seen, you don't need to be understood by those who still operate in the shallow. You carry something too deep for small talk, too heavy for empty spaces. You are becoming a walking altar, a vessel of sacred energy, a living witness to what happens when spirit awakens and flesh surrenders. And the world can feel it. That's why people have started responding to you differently. Some are drawn, some are uncomfortable, some disappear. That's not your burden, that's confirmation. You are stepping into your assignment now, slowly maybe, quietly perhaps, but it's happening, and every step you take in truth sends ripples into the unseen. Angels take position, doors begin to open, patterns begin to break, heaven begins to pour. Because when one chosen one rises in Christ, the atmosphere shifts, not just for them, but for everyone connected to them. So don't look back, don't apologize for your evolution, don't try to explain what Spirit is doing in you to people who haven't encountered that fire yet. Walk, speak, build, rest, do it all in divine rhythm. You're not too late, you're not too broken, you're not too inexperienced. You are ready because God said so. And when God speaks, reality bends to match the promise. What used to drain you now disgusts you. What used to comfort you now disturbs you. That's because your spirit is rising. Your frequency is changing. You're no longer available for anything that dishonors your inner Christ. That's not spiritual pride. That's spiritual protection. You're guarding the flame. You're honoring the shift. You're becoming who you were always meant to be. You are not just in alignment. You are alignment. You are no longer seeking purpose. You are the purpose. Every room you enter, you carry the imprint of heaven. Every word you speak, you carry divine frequency. Every decision you make, you shift timelines. That's what it means to rise in spirit. That's what it means to awaken Christ within. Chosen one, if you've made it to this point, it means the flame within you has not only sparked, it has survived. Through all the doubt, the delays, the detours, the disappointment, the Spirit of Christ in you has refused to die. And now it's not just flickering, it's rising, and as it rises, so do you. This journey hasn't been easy. You've lost people you loved. You've been misunderstood by the very ones you tried to help. You've questioned your own strength. You've cried in places no one could see. But the whole time, something deeper was happening. While life was trying to break you, the Spirit was building you. And now that inner structure, the one no one else sees, is solid, rooted, unshakable. This is what you were created for. Not just to exist, not just to believe, but to become. To become a living testimony of what it means to rise from spiritual ashes, to carry presence, to walk in wisdom, to be a light in the kind of darkness that doesn't respond to religion or routine, only to realness. And that's what you are now. Real, refined, ready. The Spirit of Christ didn't just come to comfort you, it came to commission you. It's not enough to awaken. Now you must act. Now you must walk with the authority that's been formed in your fire. This doesn't mean perfection. It means power through surrender. It means letting your spirit lead when your logic wavers. It means obeying that quiet voice, even when fear shouts louder. You've seen what disobedience costs. You've felt the delay when you've ignored the tug. But you've also tasted the freedom that comes when you move in flow with the Spirit. And now, you're about to live in that flow permanently. No more double-mindedness, no more shrinking to fit places that no longer deserve your presence. No more bargaining with heaven over what you've already been shown. The Spirit of Christ is not making suggestions, it's giving instructions. And your soul is ready to respond. What's next for you is not a repeat of what's been. This isn't another cycle. This is a new rhythm. You're not circling the same mountain. You're climbing it. You're ascending. Spirit first, truth first, purpose first. You've been through the wilderness and you're stepping into your voice. You're not just being restored, you're being revealed. The version of you that's coming forward is the one that was hidden inside the entire time. The chosen one. The flame bearer, the vessel of awakening. You don't need to force the fruit, it will flow. Your only job is to remain aligned, stay sensitive, stay surrendered. Stay clean in spirit and clear in heart. You are now a lighthouse. People may not say it out loud, but they'll feel it. The broken will come to you for truth. The weary will come to you for clarity. You won't even have to speak sometimes. Your presence will speak for you. Because when Christ rises in someone, even the silence carries weight. And yes, this rise will cost you. It will cost comfort. It will cost convenience. It will cost relationships built on the old you. But what you gain is greater. Peace that can't be shaken, vision that can't be blurred, a calling that can't be stopped. You'll begin to move with the rhythm of heaven. Time will bend for you. Doors will open for you. Divine alignment will follow you, not because you chased it, but because you became it. Remember this: the Spirit that awakened in you is not temporary. It is eternal. It won't fade because it came from the source. You didn't stir it. It summoned you. It called your name in the dark. It met you in your mess. It lifted you when no one else could. And now it lives in you, moves through you, fills every breath with destiny. You are no longer seeking God outside of you. You're realizing He's always been within. This is the mystery. This is the glory. Christ in you. Alive, active, awakening. So rise, chosen one, fully, finally, unapologetically. Step into the space that was shaped for your feet. Speak the words that were sealed in your mouth before birth. Create what only your hands were anointed to build. You are not waiting anymore. You are walking. You are not preparing. You are releasing. You are not hoping. You are knowing. This is your moment. Not someday, not when you feel more ready. Now. The world has yet to see what the awakened Spirit of Christ in you can do. But heaven already knows. So go, move like the miracle you are, and never forget the Spirit that rose in Christ now rises in you.